So today, it's drive-on day. We'll be putting our clutch transmission bell housing in the Iron Eagle, our 1963 Corvette gasser. So, rules for the Sega race, or gasser races, 4-speed manual transmissions. Because race cars have 3 pedals. I have been racing for 30 years, and my choice of transmission is a manual transmission. For my early days, my Eagle Talon, and my 99 Camaro when it was a factory T56. I ran, the first clutch I put in there was a McLeod twin disc for about 25 years. When the Camaro got heavier in power, we moved up to a transmission very, very similar to this, a G-force transmission and a McLeod Soft Lok slipper clutch. So let's talk about McLeod. Great company, good friends of ours. All right, this is the slipper clutch. There's Soft Lok. And the way this works is you adjust the springs over here with a little tool to produce more or less pressure on the clutch disc. So the term slipper clutch is how much do you want that clutch to slip, because you don't want the car wheeling too high, because when you put it too much in the air, that's not helping your ETs. Or if it slips too much, you're not going anywhere. So you got to find the proper balance. So as you can see from the clutch here, you got the flywheel, you got the clutch disc, and you got the pressure plate with the fingers. All right. So when we finally put this in the car, we're going to adjust the spring pressure at a base, which McLeod recommends. I don't know off the top of my head. Remember, we're an exhaust company, so if I say something wrong, I apologize. We're going to put it in the car, and we're going to put it at a base spring pressure, and we're going to be doing some launches, and we want to get the best 60-foot time out of it. Just do 60-foot launches, get 2 tire rotations. That's the perfect launch with more or less spring pressure. And how do you do that when it's in the car? Well, luckily we got a titanium bell housing, and that's what this window is here for. So besides being a little hot, we're going to have to get in there with our hand and adjust the spring pressure. And then after, when we get our 60 foots pretty much locked down, then we're going to be doing our counterweights. See over here is I got a counterweight with the fingers. Okay, that's like after 60 foot, so the clutch doesn't slip up high. And then McLeod offers a nice little bag like this with different length bolts and spacers with different weights. So you like to increase, I believe, 1 gram at a time and see how it is and work your way up. Not too much, not too less. And then that's pretty much the operation with the clutch. And after each race, we're going to probably bring it back up, put it up here, take this off, clean the clutch disc, clean the flywheel. I'm also a big fan of aluminum flywheels. Get that engine RPM flying up high. It doesn't need a steel. Of course, it's got a steel friction plate because it's a wearable item. And that's what we got with the clutch. And then over here, like I said on my Camaro, when we started maxing out the T56, we went to G-force for a transmission. I think I was one of the first couple of guys to do it on 4th gen. A little extra work, but I'm familiar with this. But 4-speed, I believe it's very similar to a Muncie. So now you know about our McLeod clutch. Let's talk about our transmission setup. Transmission of choice, G-force. I've been using a G-force transmission for probably 20 years on my 99 Camaro. When the T56 saw its limitations, I still wanted to stay manual transmission, so I had the McLeod Soft Lok and a G-force transmission. It's a pretty fun setup, but like I stated, after you pop the clutch, that's the last time you touch the clutch, and you get a shift of gears. So rules for the gassers: 4-speed only. Race cars have 3 pedals. And the way this transmission works is very similar to the classic Muncie. I think they were designed and used mostly in NASCAR. But it's a V-gate shifter, not an H-pattern shifter. And this is our little hokey version right now. We'll probably do a better version of it. Lift it up over here. Put it right there. That is first gear. We're gonna hold our RPMs and we're gonna drop the clutch. Probably this will happen in a split of a second, but here we go. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, passes over. Real simple. The V-gate prevents from misshifts. As long as the clutch is all set up and we don't hit the wall, we should have a successful pass. But we'll find out as we get up closer. And then up here, this is for the line lock, so it makes life a little bit easier. So we'll do our burnout probably in third or fourth gear. I got to figure out with our ratios and how we want to get that done. Got to put some oil in the transmission. We'll probably use regular gear oil. There's nothing special to that. And then let's get this all in the car and get this all bolted down.
Here at QuickTime Performance, we give you what you need to put some attitude in your truck. Why settle for the same dull, boring commute that everyone else subscribes to? Life is too short to be stuck in a bland appliance every day. Grab a set of QuickTime electric cutouts and say goodbye to ordinary.
All right, we're under the car, but as you can see how this chassis is set up, we have the transmission tunnel is removable. So I'm underneath the car while you guys are above the car. Hopefully my hair looks good, you know, full head of hair unlike some of the other racers, but let's not talk about that. Let's get this clutch installed. So we're gonna get the flywheel up over here and we're going to line this up here without smacking my finger. All right, let's get the rubber mallet and just tap the bad boy on. I think it's all the way on. I think it's all the way on, but the bolts will help out there. We got the flywheel bolts. Get these bad boys in here. Alright, now let's start our initial pattern. Get it up to about 35. Start. All right, now it's a 65. The clutch disc, we'll just make sure it's clean on the back side. We already cleaned with some brake cleaner on that. I believe this is the clutch side. Put that guy in there like that. Stop a sec. Okay. Ow, son of a bitch. Watch that. Okay, so we put the flywheel bolts on there and we realized we forgot something. A pilot bearing. So got a door and pilot bearing. Smashed it in there. No, not really. Little brass and just hammered it in. So had to stop and go get that part because we forgot that. Kind of critical. All right, so right now we're going to get the clutch disc with our the right size. Where's let me put it over the right size alignment tool, backside facing inward. And we're going to get this guy nice and tight in here, so it's aligned. All right, that looks good. And then we are going to put the pressure plate on. We'll do a little dab of blue thread lock to get that on there. Get that done beforehand. All right. Also, before it goes on there, make sure the surface is clean, no fingerprints as best you can. A little rubbing alcohol, a little sandpaper. All right, and we're going to get this bad boy up on here. All right, now. All right, we're going to get these guys tightened up, but first, just going to get them hand tight. Now we're hitting 35 pounds. All right, we got these all tightened up. Let's pull the alignment tool out. That's good. And then we're going to put some a baseline of spring pressure, about 1,500 pounds, 10 turns. And what we're going to do is write them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're also going to write them down here because we have maybe more line of sight, but we're supposed to do 10. Let's start it at 12 o'clock here. And we got to go more. So that's 1, 2. All right, a little bit of work, and when we're at the track, we might do, quarter turns, half turns, 1 turn, based on tire spin, wheels in the air, launch, tire pressure. So it's finding a nice happy mix on that one. So the base pressure with the spring pressure for the clutch plate will help with the launch, and then I said it before here, we got these bags of nuts and bolts of varieties, sizes, and weights, and they will be the counterweights. But McLeod recommends go out, hit this first, get your 60 foots down. After you get your 60 foots down, then you start, putting your counterweights on and adding a little bit at a time. It takes a while to get this clutch set up. Which is always fun, and a logbook is highly recommended. How many turns, how many counterweights, whatever it is. I think we are good right now with this, and we're going to pull off the locking tool and then try with the bell housing. Okay, we got the bell housing in. We got the bell housing bolts all torqued down to 35 foot-pounds. Throwout bearings in. We probably could get it adjusted, but it probably should be on the input shaft to really get going here. We have the clutch linkage somewhat started, so now we get to wrestle the transmission in with the cross brace.